channel. So today we will be working on how to make your first program using Flutter and Android Studio. Alright, so as you have guessed, we need Android Studio and Flutter installed. So my machine, let me open my Android Studio. My machine which I am using and making this program, I'm running it on Mac Mini M1 2020 with M1 chip and 16 GB of RAM. You might be running it on your Windows machine or a different or maybe Linux. So once you open up your Android Studio, this window will open up. Just to let you know, in case you don't know how to install Android Studio or Flutter, for Android Studio, go to developer.android.com. Over here you will find a link to download Android Studio. Click on download Android Studio and then it will open up the next page where you can download your Android Studio for your device. The latest version is 2020.3.1 at the time of making this video. Of course, it will be a different version by the time you are watching this video. Same way for Flutter, go to flutter.dev and on the right hand side on the top you will see get started. Click on that blue link and then you can download Flutter, again based on your platform, whether it is Windows, Mac OS, Linux or Chrome OS. And once you download it, it's a very straightforward process. Just follow the steps and you should be able to do it. If you face any challenge in downloading or installing, just put a message in the comment box and I will definitely make another video on the basics on how to get the thing started before we make our first program. Alright. Now coming back to Android Studio, because Flutter and Android Studio is installed, you will see over here new projects, create new Flutter project and open. And this is the way it looks like on 2020.3.1. Of course, in future versions it might change. What I'm going to do is create new Flutter project. Once you click it on a button, it will open up a new project window. You can make up an app, you can make up a module, you can make up a plugin, a package or an empty project where everything you have to create from scratch. In our case, we will be making a standard app for the end users. Click next. Now before we come to the details, I want to bring your preference to your platform side. So the platform can be Android or iOS. What it means is we will write a single piece of code and that piece of code will run on Android and the same piece of code will also run on iPhones. So whether I'm using an Android tablet or an Android phone or an iPhone or an iPad, the same piece of code will run. The beauty of Flutter is I can also make the same program run on the web, which means that single look and feel and that single piece of code will now make me run on all these platforms. The default language for Android is Kotlin and for iOS is Swift. Now let's give it a name. In my case, let's get a Flutter app 1. So, or if you want to give it a different name, my Flutter app 1, any name you want to like. That's a description. Give it a description so that it's easy to remember, but in my case I'm not going to change it. Now again, this organization is your project name, because your project is my Flutter app, so your entire name or the package will become be com.example.myflutterapp. If you want to change it, for example, my name is Chetan and my domain is chetan.co. so if I give this name co.chetan, then the app package will be co.chetan.myflutterapp1. Give it the name you like. If you're making a project for a customer, then probably they want to have a specific name which you can agree on. So once you give all those details, it will make a folder and that folder for the app will be under Android Studio projects. That Android Studio projects is again in my home folder. Of course, you can change the path. In my case, it's the default one. Once you click finish, what will happen is Android Studio will make necessary files and folders. It will also make you can see a default app and that app will then gets opened up. So as you can see, it is creating the project window and it is creating the necessary files which we need. That's the project window. I assuming that you are a little bit comfortable with the Android Studio and how Android Studio works, and I just want to repeat myself that in case you require more details and get familiarized with the Android Studio or Flutter or facing any of the challenges, put it in the comment box. I will try to reply all of them. And if multiple people will request for the thing on how to get started, I will make a separate video on it. Now once you open up the window, you will see it has different folders. It has a separate folder for iOS, a separate folder for Android, and a separate folder for web. Now in future, when we're making a little bit more complex programs, you probably need to make certain adjustments for Android and certain adjustments for iOS. For example, when you are talking to a database, because all these platforms are different, the way these platforms behave and the way the coding is done is a little bit different. So certain, you can say, configuration files or certain database related things we may need to do a little bit differently for iOS and for web and for Android. So all these customization which we will need to do will come over here. Right now I don't want to overwhelm you with certain information, and let's focus it on our main task on how to get the main program run. So all your code will lie under this lib folder, and since we are using Dart, Flutter uses Dart as a programming language, this is the sample code which has already been written by default. Now don't be scared by all this code. As I can tell you, most of these codes are actually comments, and the actual code is actually very small. So as you can see, this is just 6-7 lines of code, and rest all are just comments. So in the future version, what we are going to do is we will delete all this and write our own code the way we need it as a Hello World app in the beginning. So to run this code, we also need certain simulators. Since I'm running on Mac, I already have Xcode installed. Xcode is a separate piece of software which you need to compile the iOS apps and then to publish those apps on the Apple App Store. I have the simulator. Let me open up the simulator. See, the default phone which I have chosen for my simulator is iPhone 12 Pro Max. In case you want to run a different version or a different iOS level, or maybe you probably making an app for a different screen, so go to Open Simulator, watchOS, tvOS, iOS. If you want to, let's say, iPad Pro 12.9 inch 5th generation, open that, and that screen will get opened also. Similar way, I have also installed for my Android device. This is the Android image which I have, and the simulator is for a Pixel device. So these devices are now booting up, and these simulators with Android coding takes huge amount of memory. And believe me, if you have only 8 GB of RAM and you have opened these 3 simulators and simultaneously working along with it, and also working on let's say the web app, 16 GB is something which you definitely need, otherwise your system might be crawling. Again, you might have a different system mind, or your processor may be faster, your hard disk may be faster, your RAM speed may be faster, and your performance and my machine performance might be different. Alright, so nothing to do much. As I told you, the program has been created by default. We are not going to change it in our first session. All the Android simulators which I have opened will come over here. Before we run our program, I just want to let you know is that Android Studio, if I, let's say, close the project or simply quit Android Studio, and let's say I exit, the simulators are still open, and when I open it, it will automatically open up my last opened project. If I close the project, then only it will show up the window which we seen in the beginning, in which we created a new project. Alright, so as I told you, I have Arctic Fox 2020.3.1 Android Studio installed. It is loading up the components. I have these simulators open which have taken substantial amount of memory. It will take its own sweet time to open, but it is still reasonably fast, and I love this machine. Alright, so this is your main.dart file. It is currently indexing, and once indexing is done, we will be able to run it. So this is my Android phone, this is my iPhone 12 Pro Max, this is the iPad Pro 12.9 5th generation, and this is the Chrome Web. Let's say I want to run the program on iPhone 12 Pro Max. I choose that phone and I click next on the run. But before you do it on the run, you need to ensure that your Flutter is installed properly, your Java is there, your your path is properly set. And to test that, because you might face a problem when you run it, the easiest way to do is to run Flutter Doctor. Apologies, Flutter Doctor. And if you want to see it in more details, put -v in the end. And if you don't want to see more details, you can run it without -v also. So let's run it. So it is now running certain scripts in the background just to check that the base is done. So as you see, your Flutter is running on a stable version 2.2.3 on a Mac OS 11.5.1. Your Android is fine, Xcode, Chrome, Android Studio, your 4 connected devices. So those 4 devices is these 4 devices: web, iPad, iPhone, and your Android. So everything is fine. So since I get all tick, it is a good to go. In case you get some yellow exclamation mark or a red cross mark, just Google that specific thing. I'm sure you will find a lot of help online. And in case you are not able to sort it out, again, put it in the comments, and I can make a specific get started video on how to get your configuration ready so that you can make your first program. Alright, so in our case, everything is fine. We are good to go. I have chosen iPhone 12 Pro Max and I'm going to run it. As I click the play button over here, what it will do is it is going to load the configuration and then it will start compiling it. So as you can see, it is running Xcode build. The program will get converted into a binary code, and that binary code will then be pushed to the iPhone Pro Max. And once the code will get pushed to the iPhone Pro Max, we will open the app and we can see how the program is running. In case you want to make certain changes in the program, you can make. So I told you, I have a different machine. It took me 18.4 seconds. Depending upon how much memory and the processor you have, it might be different for you. So this is the default app which gets installed or automatically gets created once you run the Flutter. If you click the plus little floating button at the bottom over here, it will increase the value 1. Click again, it's 2. Click again, it's 3. So that's how the program is running. As I told you, you need to write once and it will run in a uniform manner with the same look and feel on all different platforms. Let's say I want to run it on Android. I choose the Android simulator over here and I click run again. So once you click run again, you will see now 2 main dot are running windows. This window is for iPhone 12 Pro Max, and this window over here is now for Android phone. So what it will do is it again now going to compile it. After compiling, the code will be transferred to the simulator, and once the code gets transferred to the simulator, you can execute the program. So this is my Android simulator. It is just waiting over here doing nothing. The code is being executed right now. Once the compilation is done, it will be pushed to the phone. Okay, it is done. It is pushed to the phone. It is installing, and once installation is done, the app will open. So again, same look and feel. You click the plus button, it will increase the value 1. Press it again, 2. Press it again, 3. So very similar look and feel. Exactly the same colors, the same type of buttons. And if you want to run it on your web browser or iPad, let's say I want to run it on iPad, choose iPad over here and click run again. So what will happen is now opened up the third window, and this time the code gets compiled for 12.9 inch 5th generation iPad Pro. So again, since it is iOS device, it will be doing an Xcode build. It has done it in 7.3 seconds. Fantastic. And it is now going to open it and run it. Again, it has a bigger real estate. The iPhone has a smaller screen size than an iPad, but the look and feel and everything is absolutely same. You press this plus yellow button at the bottom and it will increase the value by 1. Again, a very similar look and feel and exactly the same code. So I'm just telling you that we have not written different piece of codes for different simulators. It's a single piece of code and it is running on all these devices. As I told you, the beauty is that you can run it on Chrome also. Let me choose the Chrome web. I run it, and now a fourth window has opened up, and this time it is running on Chrome in debug mode. So while the code get compiled for the web version, and after that it will get installed, and the system is going to open up a Google Chrome, and in that Google Chrome window it will open up the app. Of course, you can use Safari, you can use your Firefox, you can use any browser. If you want to run it on Safari, just copy up this URL and paste it in the Safari, it will run over there. So the code gets compiled, and now it is running under, is listening under this service. So as you see, again, look and feel, if you readjust, the app will readjust itself. If you change the size, you can see the app gets readjusted. Again, a similar look and feel. Press the plus button, increase by 1, press it again, increase by 1, press it again, increase by 1. So your iPhone, your web app, your iPad, your Android phone, all things are running with a very similar look and feel and absolutely same. So let's say I'm on this Android simulator and I made certain changes in my code. Now I want to rerun it again. Now it, depending upon the machine, it will require a certain amount of time. For example, 18.4 second also is a little bit more time for the app to run. Flutter also gives you, or Android Studio also gives you, these two magical buttons. The first is Flutter Reload and the second is Flutter Hot Restart. So you make certain changes in the code and you simply press this button for Hot Reload. Once you do that, what it is going to happen is it is going to reload the app in super fast without loading the entire, you can say entire, it will just load that piece of code and it will be super quick. So as you can see, it has done it in 300 milliseconds. So that makes you can say testing the program much easy, whether you want to do it on web, whether you do want to do it on iPhone, on iPad Pro. Again, press this button and your iPad Pro will reload the program. If you want a little bit bigger reload in which the entire app gets reopened, just press the Hot Restart button, and once you press the Hot Restart button, the entire app will get reloaded. As you see, it has reset, and you press it again and it will work, and it has also taken almost a half second. Yep, so that's it from me, and I'm now going to close all these 4 processes, stop all. As you can see, all these 4 processes have stopped, and once, because now the apps are not running, that's why the Flutter Hot Reload and Flutter Hot Restart is not working. So you run the app, and then once you start debugging and making changes in the code, you need not to stop again. Just hot reload and hot restart, depending upon 99% of the cases or the changes you will make, it will work. And in case it doesn't work, I will also discuss those cases in which it will not work, and then we probably have no option other than to start stop. But again, it's not a very lengthy process. Yep. So that's it from me. In the next you can say video, we will see how to delete the entire code and write our own code, and under that code we will make our own basic program with a hello world sort of a thing. So get yourself familiarized with Flutter, get yourself familiarized with Android Studio, and I see you in the next video. Peace.